interested parties over to the Ag Commissioners Conference Room, where we can entertain more questions and answers from interested parties.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
Dr. Gold.
Thank you.
Should let you know I just got a tsunami alert from the system just a couple of minutes ago when I fired up my laptop. Then I assume that it's a test procedure and you respond back. So while we're having a discussion, the group is out there testing the alert system to make sure we're paying attention.
Always testing.
Was that the dialogic email?
Yes, it was.
Yes. Yeah.
That's an upgrade for us. Excellent.
Well, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you this afternoon. Bill has already introduced himself and us. I would like to mention that the members of the Redwood Coast Tsunami Work Group, which includes Mendocino County, is a fine local advocacy group that's helped us tremendously in terms of tsunami preparedness, and hopefully we'll continue to see them do so. What I'd like to talk to you about this afternoon is a different kind of tsunami test. We call it a live code tsunami test. And these are different than other tsunami tests that are done on a routine basis, because we actually use the live tsunami event codes so that people who are listening to radio or watching television will see a scroll that goes across the television that says the National Weather Service has issued a tsunami warning for Mendocino, Humboldt, and Del Norte counties. Now, there are abundant voiceovers that say this is a test, this is a test, this is only a test, but as you can imagine, this test is not done routinely. We introduced this test in California for the first time in March in Humboldt County only, and I'll tell you a little bit about the results of that test later. Basically, this is an emergency alert system test. It's not a full end-to-end test where we start with a warning from the West Coast and Alaska Tsunami Warning Center, follow that through our state warning center, out to the operational areas, then to EAS and so on. But we're really trying to test this very end stage of the system where the message that is processed through the system is actually released to the public. And this, we think, is the most critical component of our warning system. And if we don't test it, we don't know that it's going to work in an emergency. So that's why we're coming to you and asking that we conduct this test. There are other tsunami tests that are done, many of them done as routine emergency alert system tests. We have the required weekly test, the required monthly test. These are initiated by the local National Weather Service and are conveyed to the emergency alert broadcasters, who simply activate the system and say, this is a test, this is only a test. If there were an actual emergency, you would hear instructions and so on. So the live code test is quite different in that we are using the actual tsunami event codes. Why Mendocino County? I think Dr. Dengler can address this issue more fully than I can, but there have been 20 measurable tsunamis in Mendocino County since 1800. One of which was actually damaging, the one that was generated by the large earthquake in Alaska that caused damage here in Mendocino County and other parts of the North Coast, including fatalities in Crescent City. This area is vulnerable to distant source tsunamis. The Cascadia subduction zone is only one source. There are others, and so this part of the state is unfortunately vulnerable to tsunamis. We've also had very good cooperation with Mendocino County OES, with Bill, and there's been consistent support for this type of testing within the County Emergency Management Agency. Some of the challenges in conducting these kinds of tests, obviously we have to ensure that everyone knows that this is a test and not an actual event. And that is obviously because people who are watching television in Mendocino County at the time of the test will see this scroll, will hear the announcement on the radio. There could be hearing impaired or non-English speaking people who don't hear or understand the voiceover message announcing that this is a test. We will use closed captioning for the deaf and hard of hearing. We will have materials as part of our public information campaign in other languages. So we intend to conduct over the next few months, this test is proposed for March 25th of 2009, and over the next few months we will be working very hard to make sure that people within the county understand and appreciate this test. Future live code tsunami tests, if this is approved, this will be the first multi-county tsunami live code test in California. We did conduct the first live code test, as I mentioned, in March of this year in Humboldt County only. We did a very, very extensive outreach and public information campaign, and on the day of the test, we did not have a single call to 911 and no calls to the Coast Guard. So we feel that we did our homework, we successfully executed this test, and now we're hoping to branch out into 3 counties instead of 1.